If you want to make money, and I mean really make money, there is one simple thing that is standing in your way. It's your credit score. Are you tired of not being able to take out a loan for a car or even an investment property? Are you struggling to acquire debt for your businesses or potential investments? Did you know that a bad credit score can affect almost every part of your life? If you have no credit, bad credit, or simply want to improve your credit, this video will help you to do so. Just to name a few, your credit score can affect you by potentially being denied a business loan or personal credit. It can also cause difficulty getting a rental application approved. It can even cause issues during an employment background check. You can even struggle with higher insurance premiums in some cases. These are all issues we want to avoid, and we can. We just simply need to work on our credit. This is, in my opinion, one of the main things that needs to be taught in our school systems. Having a great credit score and understanding how debt works is so much more valuable than any degree. With that said, here's a quick breakdown of how your credit score is impacted. The first one is your payment history, including whether you always pay bills on time or have had late or missed payments in the past, and this accounts for 35%. Then, how much total credit you have available and how much of it you've actively been using is known as your credit utilization rate, and it accounts for 30%. Then, how long you've been using credit accounts for 15%, and the mix of credit types you've had and are currently using accounts for 10%. And then the number of recent credit accounts you've opened and applications you've made, which is known as hard inquiries, also account for 10%. Having a great credit score helped me to acquire millions of rands in real estate over a 4-year span without initially being able to qualify for a flippin' cell phone contract. If you want to know how, then focus on these next few tips. The first one is to check your credit score. It's important to understand your credit score and look for any errors. If you have inaccurate info, you need to dispute this, as this can affect your score. It's really important to have a good overview of your actual credit score. Second, you need to pay your bills on time. This might seem like a no-brainer, but let me make this clear. Never ever make late payments, because this is the easiest way that you can improve and maintain a good credit score. Like I said, this accounts for 35% of your credit score, and it's really important that you don't make any late payments. Third, you should pay off debt. This is the second most important factor to your credit score, which takes up 30%. The idea would be to pay off your debt on time every month. My suggestion would be to never make just the minimum payment towards your debt, and always pay it off as much as you can to reduce the interest and reduce the overall debt. You can search the avalanche or snowball method to decide which strategy you want to follow to pay off your debt. If you have a balance carried over to the next month, make sure you pause using your credit card and focus on paying it off first. Even if it means that you only eat bread for that month, make sure you pay off your debt. Number 4 is to avoid new hard inquiries. If you're focused on increasing your score, you may want to delay applying for new credit in the meantime. A hard inquiry happens when a lender checks your credit to evaluate you for a financial product. It will appear on your credit report, and it may affect your credit score. That's because lenders could consider you a greater credit risk if you're attempting to borrow money from many different sources. Applications for new credit accounts for 10% of your credit score. Then number 5, once you've done the hard work to fix a bad credit score, keeping up the momentum is the next step. That means diligently paying all bills on time, maintaining low balances on credit cards, and only seeking out new credit when necessary. The length of credit history accounts for 15% of your score, so you may also want to keep old accounts open to maintain a long average credit history. That could mean putting a small charge on your oldest card occasionally and paying it off right away. If a card has a high annual fee and you're no longer using it, weigh the potential trade-offs of a shorter credit history with the money you could save. Then number 6 is credit mix, or the range of credit types you have in your name. It makes up to 10% of your credit score. You don't need to take out a new loan merely to diversify your credit mix, but dependably managing a credit card is one of the most effective ways to maintain a good credit score. So if you haven't opened your own credit card in the past, consider applying for a secured credit card. This is something that requires a deposit that typically also becomes your credit limit. Making small charges and paying them off each month can help improve your score and may make you eligible for a traditional unsecured card down the line. I wanted to add one last tip, and this is something that I really feel passionate about, and that is to use a credit card for everything you do. It's really important to understand that leverage or debt is like a double-edged sword, so you need to make sure that you have the discipline to use a credit card correct, so that you don't fall into a debt trap. The reason I love using a credit card is simply because I have to purchase certain things every month, and why not use my credit card and build my credit score at the same time? It means if I go and buy groceries, if I pay for a flight ticket or fill my bakkie with diesel, I need to pay for that immediately. So I use my credit card to pay for these things because I obviously had to pay for it anyway. And as soon as I pay it with my credit card, the next day or within that week, I will make sure that I pay it off completely. By doing this, we can show the credit bureaus and our lenders that we have financial discipline to manage debt. These are all really simple steps that you can implement immediately. After you watch this video, start taking action. If you don't understand this, you will have to do your best to research these topics, because I can share the information with you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to take action.